want to revisit this wildlife, like zombie raccoon story that we saw earlier. I've got 3 other stories to go along with this that I received after I did this video about the strange behavior of the raccoons in Youngstown, Ohio. And apparently what's going on in broad daylight, raccoons are walking right up to people. And that is very, very unusual. So they really don't know what to think. They're calling this possibly a multiple case of distemper with these wildlife creatures. But I received an email from a viewer who's very familiar with distemper, lives in Arkansas, is familiar with wildlife, and said that distemper is rare to begin with, and it usually occurs on an individual basis, not on multiple bases like we're seeing here in Ohio. So that alone, well, it's very rare that these little creatures would walk up to people, number one, and then to have at least 12, maybe more cases of distemper at the same time, they said is equally as rare. So I don't really know what's going on here, but nevertheless, there are raccoons that are walking up to humans in broad daylight. We've been monitoring through earthfiles.com the absence of birds from Central Oregon. This is a video that I received just within the last few hours of the same phenomenon in Florida. And I'm going to play part of this video from Big Gamer 29, and he's noticing the same thing now in Florida. Check this out.
Hey, over the last week, I have noticed something really strange. See that tree right there? There used to be all sorts of mockingbirds and other birds that you would hear them literally every day. But over the last week, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard birds. I haven't even seen the raccoons that used to come around this area scavenging my garbage. I actually had to put a lock on the garbage can.
So another case of an absence of birds. I'll post the link to this video down in the description box below. You can watch it in its entirety. Again, that's Big Gamer 29 out of Florida. So I received that video after the raccoon video I did a couple of hours ago. Then I received these photographs from New Jersey of deer. So we have an absence of birds, absence of raccoons in Florida. We have raccoons in Ohio walking up to humans in broad daylight. This is from New Jersey, a buck deer walking up to humans in broad daylight. Multiple pictures. After he walks up, introduces himself, casually strolls away, and casually strolls down the sidewalk. Very strange behavior. You got to remember something we've talked about this week. Animals, insects, birds, they have a different perspective of Earth. They see a spectrum of ultraviolet that we do not see. So it makes me wonder if they're not walking up to people wondering, hey, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And I'm just throwing that out there. I'm trying to think outside the box, because there is something definitely strange going on with wildlife. There's no doubt about it. Remember these geese from North Indianapolis? There was a pair of geese. This picture was sent to me a week ago from North Indianapolis. 2 geese, one just sitting right in the middle of the road. Well, this isn't the only time this has occurred. And again, all of these cases are just the ones that we know of. And this is happening, from what we do know of, all across the country, from Oregon to North Indianapolis, New Jersey, down to Florida, and more than likely everywhere in between. This is from South Philadelphia. This is a video I received from Andrew a little over an hour ago. And I'm going to play this video, play part of it. It gets kind of windy. But what he's trying to tell you is he ran across the same situation right here. He had to rescue 2 geese that were sitting in the middle of the road twice. And they haven't left the area, and they're not afraid of humans. He says they're almost acting lethargic. I'm going to play this video clip for you. This is Andrew from South Philadelphia.
5th of April,
This is a pretty busy road. 3 days ago, these two adult-sized geese actually had to stop traffic 2 days in a row. Of course, I didn't film it. After watching your videos, this is
It's a little windy right there. Basically, what he said, 2 days in a row, he's had to rescue these geese from the road. But they were blocking traffic right here. He said when he picked them up, they were not afraid. He said they felt and acted lethargic. He set them over the fence just for their own safety, and they haven't moved except one time, and that was to go right back out to the road. So he's put them over this fence twice, and they haven't moved. Reminds me almost exactly of what we're seeing here in Indianapolis. Now, there's something strange going on. And again, geese, insects, different creatures have a different perspective of the world that we live in than we do. They see actually a different part of the ultraviolet than we do. And we've been measuring the ultraviolet for almost a year now. And we've noticed some variances in the ultraviolet, the UV light of planet Earth from different places across the country. And one of those places was Philadelphia. And that's where these geese were acting very strange. And they're outside all the time. So it makes you wonder if maybe they're not reacting to something related to UV. These creatures are outside all the time. Are they reacting to something related to the UV? Maybe these creatures here in Florida are sensing something, so they went someplace where they felt safe. These raccoons walking right up to people. That's kind of a very unusual incident. This bird in Texas that Rick filmed. I mean, he was standing right next to the bird, and he said the bird was looking up into the sky, very puzzled. And you have to keep in mind, birds have a different perspective of Earth than we do. So he said he was acting like he was, afraid of something in the sky. And here Rick was 3 or 4 feet away from him, and the bird was quite comfortable with Rick standing there, opposed to being up in the sky. He said he kept looking up towards the sun. So very unusual wildlife activity in general all across the country. And these are just the ones that we know of. And I want to finish this video on something that was witnessed over here on Channel Islands after the earthquake, actually during the 5.3 earthquake that struck just off the coast of California today. I'll post the link to this video in the description box below. But this nest cam that monitors these baby bald eagles, the nest cam is right here on Channel Islands. The tree that this camera sits, or the camera and the nest sit in, started shaking today during the earthquake. And the bird took off just from a natural instinct, and I can understand why. About 30 seconds later, the bird came back, but that was from a 5.3 earthquake. Very rare, so I'll post the link to that in the description box below.